Metro is a group of misfits where we believe that our commonality is our weaknesses and our strengths. And because of that, because we've done that, we've experienced the perfect strength of God that allows us to be a church of transformation. That's what Metro is all about. I got something very exciting to share with you today. After 14 years of our church, and many of you have been a part of us for many years, it's time that Metro finds a home. Don't you agree? I believe it is time for us to finally say that we have our own building, our own space. We're no longer just renting, but that we have a place, a permanent place where we're sending a message to the people in our church and outside of our church that we're here to stay and we're not going anywhere. We call this campaign Beyond the Building because we wanted people in our community to realize that this isn't just about building a church building. Sometimes when we think about a church building, we often just confine the church to just the building, but that's so much more than what we're about here at Metro. We feel like we need to bring our sanctuary or our seats, not just in our building, but we need to bring it onto the streets. And that's really what this is about. This building is a place where people from all walks of life, especially here in Englewood and beyond, would come and connect and experience God, would experience transformation in their own lives. We're talking in their relationship with God, but with one another, and also here in Englewood. And so we really believe this idea of beyond the building, it's allowing us to be reminded this is a relational, a community thing. Metro's always been about a community, and our church has always been about the people. And this building is about the people, and that's why we're doing this. We're not doing this because we just want to build a building and have one to own. We're building this because we feel more than ever in the history of our church, we need to continue to do this because it's about our people, our community here at Metro, and our community here in Englewood, and even beyond. 14 years, I think it's quite a long time for a church to continue to be thriving in. Church experts say that probably more than 75% of most churches fail within the first 5 years. So 14 years is really a milestone. And we started with 11 people, and it's really been an amazing adventure. And now we're kind of at a place where we're about 800, about 500 adults, maybe a little bit more, and about 300 kids or so. When we were smaller, we can just kind of move to whatever space, that was better or bigger. But now that we're at a certain size, it's hard to find a space that can accommodate us. And so the choices are very limited. Furthermore, we really feel God is leading us to continue to stay here in Englewood. And when you really look at the options here in Englewood, there really is no other option than just kind of where we are right now. And there really isn't any other options in where we can move to a different space. And so really for us, it's time that we start thinking about building a presence here, a permanent presence. A building would kind of send that message. And for us to be in a building where we can just continue to grow as a church numerically, but also spiritually and even as a community. Currently, we don't have a space or a building that we can kind of point you towards and say, here it is, and here's what we hope we're going to accomplish there through this space. But we're actively looking, searching, and praying, and we believe that God's going to open up a door for us to find a place. We have some potential prospects, but none right now where we feel certain enough to report to you, as we don't want to create false hope. We're actually working with our denomination. We have some real estate people in our church that are helping us. You're going to learn in the next given weeks why we are where we are today, our limitations that we're experiencing as a church, and the robust opportunities that God's giving to us right now that can be experienced if we have our own building. And so in the next few weeks, we're going to take that journey. We're going to look at Englewood, and you're going to hear some stories and learn about our opportunities that God's given to us here. You're going to look at opportunities where God's given to us here as a church community. God's been real faithful to just kind of bringing people, and it's not just about the number, but really it's about the life and the vitality that we've been able to experience in the past 14 years. We started with 11, and there was still life in that 11 people that were a part of the church. But now you see what God's doing with the 800-900, and you see the life that's growing there, and it's really an amazing experience. campaign, you're going to learn what are the exciting opportunities that God has placed before us that we as a church have to learn to be faithful to doing together. For you to prepare yourself for the next few weeks of this campaign, I really need you to pray. I know you hear me say that a lot on Sundays, but you really need to take that seriously because you need to ask God how you can participate in being a part of this. And part of that participation, a big part of that through our community, is how much you can give to this. I need you to pray. I need you to be informed. We have a lot of literature. Don't just take it home and throw it away in the garbage. Take it home, read through every page, every word, and submit that in prayer to God. And let God speak to you. And if you allow God to speak to you as your pastor, that's all I care about.